Oh, goodness, Sunderland fans. Surely the only positive thing about this next Sunderland game is it's the last one for a while. Put us out of our misery. Jack, you must have been feeling like that for a couple of months now. For the final
Yeah,
time, how are you?
yeah, it's been a long one this season. Normally we've got something exciting going on towards the end, but everyone just wants it over and done with now, to be honest with
So we are previewing the final home game of the Sunderland season. Of course, it's a big one for their opponents. Sheffield Wednesday are coming to town and they need at least a point to make sure that they are safe. More on that in a second. We'll bring in our resident owl, Andrew, to speak about the game. But first of all, let's look back at what was a predictable outcome against Watford. I think I said to you last week they haven't won at home since November. Your
you.
response was, well, that's exactly what we're good at, and 1-0 Watford. Um, was that as poor as it got on Saturday?
Yeah, it was pretty nailed on, to be honest with you. As soon as I heard that, which I heard that for the first time, you were telling me I didn't even know it was true, but it was just absolutely nailed on. I mean, we no, I don't think many people expected to go there and win. We've been better on the road since the turn of the year than we have been at home, but still really, really bad. And yeah, it was two teams who have nothing to play for. Watford wanted it that bit more, I guess. We just didn't really create anything. Again, it really does feel like I'm repeating myself week in, week out, which is the same thing every single week.
What did you make of Lucanini's handball, volleyball kind of catch? I mean, he's an ex-Watford kind of graduate, so he
Yeah.
must have forgot where he was. Did you see that as a red card offence?
It's a weird one, because it is probably the most deliberate handball you'll ever see. And he's pretty much caught the ball. But it's one of them, it's like one of them cynical fouls where, if a player's gone through a goal, you tackle them, you swipe them, whatever. But in fact, instead, he's decided to do it with his hands. And yeah, he divides opinion, does Luke O'Neill. A lot of people, you either love him or hate him. And obviously, the hate people saying he should have been sent off for that. And, he probably should have, really. I mean, he's took the yellow card, he's denied a goal scorer an opportunity, but at the end of the day, it's just a bit silly, isn't it? It's funny. It's funny, and it's just him all over. But
That's what I thought. I laughed at this. I thought, what has he done? That is like a basketball player trying to do a slam dunk.
yeah,
All right, let's talk about the summer then before we get Sheffield Wednesday in. Then, is this the last time we might see Jack Clark at the Stadium of Light?
yeah. I think it's likely. I think obviously, I mean, he's been linked away since last summer. So obviously, we had links in January. He stayed. But I think that'll probably be. I mean, he's attracting enough interest. He's been pro recently, to be fair, but who hasn't? Um, and hopefully that'll put people off, because we know that isn't him at his best at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the likelihood is he's gonna get a Premier League move. I mean, it'll be good for us. We'll get a good bit of coin for him, but I think Saturday could be the last time we see him pull on the red and white at Sunderland. Yeah,
Which is a shame, really, because you think, if he was to stay and you could build the club around him, you could be a force, couldn't you? But
mm,
where do you see Sunderland finishing next season? I know I'm going to ask you this at the start of next, but
yeah. That's a tough question, isn't it? Because we've still got a managerial point, we've still got players to get in. I mean, there's nothing really. It's not like, you look at like Swansea. I've just been listening there. Like you've had Luke Williams had half a season. Now he's got a pre-season to build. We're going into this pre-season totally unknown. We don't know what to expect, really. The rumours are that there's going to be a manager appointed imminently after the weekend. So hopefully, if we get it in early and we start getting our business done early, we can get a good feel. But we have to get this transfer window right. I'd like to say we could be up in the playoffs and challenging again like we were last year, but it totally depends on our business this summer. It's so important that we get it right, because it could be an absolute disaster if not.
of course, one of those managers we've spoken about as potentially being the next Sunderland one is a certain Danny Roll, who's going to be in the opposite dugout on Saturday. So you might get a nice close up of your new manager. Let's see what the Wednesday fans think of think of that. Welcome to the Sunderland View, Andrew. How are you?
Oh, I'm happy, of course, after last Saturday. Very happy, elated. The player's back, as you know. And nice to come on to see Sunderland, because Sunderland have always had a soft spot with me. The two clubs together have got a massive history, Wednesday and Sunderland. I'll quote a few facts while I'm at it. Both of us went down from the old First Division together in 57, 58. We both went down together in the old First Division in 69, 70, when Everton were champions, we're pleased to know. Both of us have had massive support. We were both our grounds were chosen for the 1966 World Cup. And to sum up who Wednesday and Sunderland are, Dario O'Grady hit the nail on the head a couple of years ago when he said we were both in the third tier, that Sheffield Wednesday and Sunderland were the Real Madrid and Barcelona of the third division. That's exactly what our clubs are all about. And if there's any justice in it, especially for the fan base we both have, we'll be back in the Premier League sooner than later.
Well, very well said. I'm not sure how to talk about Dario O'Grady anymore, are we? But
he did say, I guarantee you said it.
Yeah, okay. All right. When Jack made that statement about Danny Rowe coming to Sunderland, there was a lot of comments saying, well, why would he? Because Sheffield Wednesday is the bigger club. So I'm going to let you just have a discussion here. Who's the bigger club, Sunderland or Sheffield Wednesday?
Well, historically, it's hard to call it. I would say, obviously, I'm a bit more biased. What's Sunderland's record attendance, home attendance? Our record home attendance is 72,841 against Man City. Do I win that argument? I think I do, don't I?
I think you might have that one. But how many top division titles?
League titles. Okay, we've been champions of England 4 times. Sunderland?
Six.
FA Cup winners?
Twice.
3 times for Wednesday. League Cup winners?
What's that?
League Cup, you haven't won the League Cup, have you? Wednesday League Cup winners once. Charity Shield winners, 1. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't. But at the end of the day, no, we're both massive clubs. I'm not going to make it this competition, because at the end of the day, I have respect Sunderland, I always have done, and I'd like to see both of us back where we should be in the top flight. I really was such a pity. A couple of years ago, we missed out on playing each other at Wembley. We played Hull at Wembley. We had 44,000 at Hull, at Wembley rather, than Hull had 26,000. We played Barnsley. We had 46,000 there. Barnsley had 26,000. If we'd have played Sunderland, we both would have had 46,000 there each. Of that, there's no doubt.
Thank you, Andrew. Okay, let's have a chat about then this game. Jack, it's massive for Wednesday. I can only really see this going one way, which is a 1-0 Wednesday win. Have you seen anything in the last couple of weeks to suggest that to give sort of Plymouth and Birmingham fans some hope here that you just might beat them?
Yeah, no, not at all. I don't feel confident. I think now we're actually, we're getting beat off teams who've got nothing to play for, but now we're actually playing a team with a bit of fight. God knows what could happen. Wednesday, right now, are a better team than us. I thought it's an amazing thing that. So back in September, we went to Sheffield Wednesday, and it was the easiest game I've ever seen. We were 3-0 up in half an hour, and then for the rest of the game, we were awful, but nothing happened because Wednesday weren't anywhere near us. Yeah. And by Saturday, if they beat us, they've only finished 3 points below us, which is just bemusing considering how good we look then and how bad they looked. A testament to Danny Rowe, it really is. But I don't feel any confidence side. I think Wednesday will get the job done. Part of me is like, I like Wednesday as a club. I do hope to stay up. So, but you never want your team to lose. But I don't have any faith that will. I think we'll be doing them a big favour, and I don't think fans, the likes of Plymouth, Blackburn, Birmingham, will like to hear that.
No, okay. Andrew, let's give you your score prediction then for this one.
Well, Sunderland haven't won at home since my younger daughter's birthday, actually, the 10th of February, when they beat Plymouth 3-1. I think they were a different outfit at that time. And since then, they've been finding goals hard to come by. I've noticed a lot of results. You've had a few 0-0 draws, of course, and we'll take 0-0 all day long. Obviously, what I'd like to see is a nice 5-1 win that Blackburn got there, strange enough. But, of course, we won 3-1 at Blackburn, but football doesn't work that way. So I will go for the same score as the 69-70 season. We both got relegated together. A 2-1 win for Wednesday, but I'll take a 0-0 draw. I'll even take a 1-0 defeat for Wednesday, as long as neither Birmingham or Plymouth win. If one of those two doesn't win, then it doesn't matter. We're safe anyway. Go for it.
Jack?
Yeah, similar, but I don't think we'll score, as we don't score very often. I'm going to go with a 2-0 Wednesday win, I think. That's a likely outcome.
All right, thank you, Andrew, for that. I'll just pop you off for a second. Before we let you go, Jack, of course, it is the last home game of the season, so we do have to ask you to reflect back on this season and pick up your favourite home game memory. There have been some
Yeah.
Mostly under Mowbray, mostly before Christmas. What's been your stand-up memory?
Well, it's a long time ago since I've had a decent one. But you'd have to go the 5-0 Southampton. Definitely, like it doesn't come close to any other one. I think it was the day after transfer deadline day. We just sold Ross Stewart to them. We nearly sold Patrick Roberts to them. We had a depleted squad. We thought we were going to get absolutely trounced. No one had an ounce of faith, and then we turned up and did that. It's one of the best results we've had in years, let alone this season. So yeah, definitely that one.
Yeah, I remember that result. It was when we just started doing this channel. And we started to talk to you. I remember saying that, you could be a force. With a result like that, and I think was the Middlesbrough game the next home game, and then
I think
it was a full performance. Was it something like that?
Yeah, we played them at the start of September. And I think Borough was, within 4 weeks of that, and yeah, it was just totally different.
Yeah. Okay. Well, listen, Jack. We really appreciate you coming on here every single week, going through Sunderland games, talking so positively as you have done. It's been crikey. What have we had? We've had Mowbray, we've had caretaker managers, then we've had he who should not be named.
No, definitely not.
We've had the Newcastle debacle, then you've had a lot to go through. So look,
it's never quiet. It's never ever quiet at Sunderland.
Well, it's not boring, is it? Anyway, enjoy the summer. We will see you in September, won't we? Because you're off. You're off for an extended
we'll
break.
be back for the start. But
So we will have a new Sunderland fan taking Jack's place temporarily for the start of the season. But thank you so much for all you've done, and enjoy the final game of the season if you can.
Thanks very much, man. I've loved doing it. Can't wait for next year.
You liar. Cheers.